Our guest in this segment is Emily Dyson. She is the Director of Research and a whole lot more at the Ensorga facility. I didn't have enough room on your TV slug to fit everything that you do in there, Emily. Good morning to you, and thanks so much for coming in.
Good morning to you, and thank you for having me. I always get excited to be able to come and talk about Ensorga.
Yeah,
Nice.
and have you ever noticed, Rob, that scientists, if you put everything on you can't put everything on a business card.
You can't.
Because they have tons of degrees and lots of
They do.
experiences. And
What are all your degrees in, Emily?
I don't have a ton of degrees.
Oh, you don't?
No, I have a bachelor's of science.
Oh, okay.
But I've got 30 years of experience in the consulting world, environmental consulting, as well as for the last 4 years I've been with BioHigh-Tech, who's the majority owner of Ensorga, really working through looking at those alternatives to landfill, trying to help people change the way they think about waste and having it become a commodity instead of the the thing that just goes to the landfill and you forget about.
The other really cool thing, too, is it's the first in the United States, right?
It is.
And it's located right here in Martinsburg. Will there be more, do you think?
There will be more. It's certainly my intention to have there be more. I have about... My goal is to have about 8 years left in a career. I'd like to retire by 60. And I'd like to have, at least 5, probably 2 or 3 in construction and the rest in permitting.
Oh, nice.
Great.
By the time I get done. But it's a real... it's something I'm really proud of, that we have been able to build this facility in the Panhandle of West Virginia.
It's cool, too, that you it's an example of doing something very environmentally sound. Like it's like a super green, eco-green thing to do, and you're making money at the same time.
Yes,
I mean, that's
I think it's probably one of the first technologies of its kind in the country that isn't a bench scale or a small mock-up type thing, where we've been able to bring a technology that they've been using in Europe for 13 years thereabout.
Why is Europe so far ahead of the U.S. in this?
Because they don't have any land. So in the U.S., we have all this extra land that we can just put a landfill in someplace. As our land resources become smaller and smaller and more people don't want to live near the landfill, we have to find those other technologies. And that's where Europe had already had to do that, because they just don't have the land space that we do. So they took measures long before we did for the recycling. For they don't buy their food a week in advance and have it all wrapped up in plastic. They're buying their stuff fresh, so they don't have the organic waste that we tend to produce here. We're a very throwaway society, and I think from a BioHigh-Tech perspective, as the majority owner, from a BioHigh-Tech perspective, our goal is really to show people that first you don't have to create the waste. And then if you have created the waste, what are the other opportunities to use it for? That whole concept of reuse. And then as you go down the sort of the EPA waste hierarchy, reduce, reuse, recycle, I would say we fall in that recycle category. Of the materials I hate to call it waste that we bring into the plant. I prefer to call it feedstock.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Because we are a manufacturing facility. We are not, we use that waste as our feedstock to make our fuel. And we produce fuel. And the byproduct of that is, you have metals that we pull out that end up being recycled. We take the plastics that have fallen out of the recycling market and we use it for another commodity, which is the fuel. So, as a whole, we're trying very hard to educate people on what they can do to not create it. We have some other technologies that we focus on that. But from the Ensorga standpoint, 80% of all of the feedstock that we have that comes into the facility is diverted from a landfill.
Well, could you take us...
It should be called feedstock, just as a kind of a point of clarification, because that's exactly what it's called when they're taking, miscanthus grasses or whatever,
Sure.
And growing them in fields and converting those to fuel,
Absolutely.
to biofuel. They call that feedstock, so why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would love for the community in the Panhandle to understand that the waste that they're generating is now feedstock. And with that comes a responsibility, I would hope, a responsibility on their part to understand that there are some things in the feedstock that we just can't take. Like, I would love to see light bulbs go to Home Depot and Lowe's and places to recycle those versus into the feedstock. When it goes into the feedstock, those light bulbs are a source of mercury, and mercury is one of the things that I have to manage very tightly in that fuel.
Are we talking about the curly Q light bulbs or any light bulb?
Any light bulbs, but those fluorescent bulbs in particular, the curly Q ones, they have a residual mercury content in them. Thermostats, it's amazing. You don't realize how much people just throw in the trash. You don't really even think about it anymore. Oh, this thermometer, yeah, it's no good anymore. I'm gonna throw it in the trash. That thermometer can contaminate a whole load of fuel for me. So, there are things that while we're going to take all the MSW we can.
What's MSW?
Municipal solid waste.
Okay.
So the feedstock. We're gonna take what we can, but the things that we definitely can't take and we won't take, like we take it out of the waste stream or we won't accept it to come in. Appliances, furniture. It's amazing the things that we've taken out of the trash. I have 32 bowling balls in the downstairs in Sorga right now that people just threw out bowling balls during the spring cleaning.
Somebody throws out an alley, you're set, right?
What's that?
Somebody throws out an alley, you're set.
I knew someone in St. Louis who actually did a garden of bowling balls so that when you walked up his
made a cool
sidewalk,
path.
Yeah, up the sidewalk on both sides were just these stacks of bowling balls. It looked really cool.
Well, I tell you what, if you want to build a path, I got some bowling balls for you.
Take me through the entire assembly process, so to speak. How does the trash get to you? I know you work in conjunction with Apple Valley Waste, I think, do you not?
Apple Valley Waste is our predominant hauler. However, we do accept waste from other municipalities, other haulers. Shepherdstown brings us their waste as well. So trucks come in. We have 26-foot pits inside the building that the trucks dump into. From there, it gets transferred there's 5 pits, from the pits into what we call the primary hopper. It goes up, it gets separated in a trommel into what we call the overs and the unders. The overs are your big plastic materials, your big cardboards, your big tarps and carpet and things like that people throw away. Those can automatically be sent to be made into fuel. They don't have to sit in the biooxidation hall. The unders, which are your organic portions, your smaller than 7 inches basically, those go into what we call our biooxidation hall, and that is where our composting, it's almost identical to composting, takes place, where it sits in windrows, and after 14 to 20 days, depending on how wet the material is, it can then be picked up out of the biooxidation hall, put through the shredder, and then it moves into what we call our refinement process, which is where we pull out the metals. We pull out PVC plastic. That's the only plastic that we can't take is PVC. It ends up in the trash, feedstock, but we try and pull that out because that affects the chlorine of the fuel. Which I also need to have that very low. Chlorine and mercury are the 2 things that I really have to manage. It then goes through several magnets and an eddy current to take out the aluminum and the tin. The metals, the aluminum and the tin, we sell as a recycled metals commodity.
A good secondary market for that stuff.
Absolutely. And then we have something that we call the fines, and the fines are the glass, the rocks, and the dirt that end up coming through the process. We're working on finding offtake partners for that as well. We're looking for construction companies that could use it for fill. We're looking for landfill cover, things like that. So that's our next thing, is to figure out how we could put that back into the market as a reuse versus as a waste. So then it goes through to our secondary shredder, which sizes it down to a 1x1 thereabout. It goes through what we call a disc screener, which is sort of a quality assurance machine that basically, if it's the right size and it doesn't have a lot of metals and things, it goes out into the chute that then loads up the truck. If it is the wrong size, then it gets sent back through the process. So we get another bite at resizing it.
And then how does this get converted into fuel? And what type of fuels? What is it used for?
That is the fuel. So when it gets all done, like I said, it's a crunchy, fluffy paper, like consistency, that has basically stabilized any of the organics. So it doesn't have an odor. It doesn't smell like trash. It smells like musty wood. And you can visibly see the plastics in it. If there's cardboard or labels or something like that, you can actually still read the labels. They're just cut up in little pieces.
Okay.
And then from there, it's put into 40-foot 40-yard walking floor trailers, where we transport it to either Argos or to a cement manufacturing facility up in Whitehall, Pennsylvania.
And they use this. This is fuel now.
This is fuel that
And so
introduced into the very beginning of the cement making process, where they
Okay.
need a hot, fast fire.
So they burn this.
They burn it, and it gets injected into the preheater precalciner, and it heats up that very front part of the kiln.
Now, does it emit any kind of chemical into the air that could be harmful at all?
Anytime you burn something, you're going to have an off gas of some sort. The beauty of this fuel is that it has been proven. We used the fuel from Europe and ran the studies here before we had built ours. But what the off gases are is why we have to control the mercury, why we have to control our chlorine.
Okay, got it.
But the cement industry is the second most regulated industry behind incinerators and coal-fired power plants. And as a result of that, they have continuous emission monitors. They have the controls, the lime injection if they need it, to change the chemical constituents of what the emissions are. And we've been able to show that we burn cleaner, as clean or cleaner than coal on the 15, what the US EPA calls the contaminants of concern. There's 15 of them. We are cleaner or as clean as coal on all 15 of them.
Now, and this process, if I read your website correctly, is called mechanical biological treatment, or MBT. Is that what that's called?
Right. So mechanical biological treatment is used in a lot of different, there's facilities in other parts of the U.S. even that use a mechanical biological treatment. Basically means that you're gonna separate it, you're gonna compost it, let it sit, and then you're going to resize it and turn it into the fuel. What's different about our technology is, we take the MSW, straight MSW from the little white house on the corner. There are no other plants that are taking straight MSW and turning it into fuel. There's a lot of places that'll take plastics and wood and cardboard and that, refuse-derived fuel, or you'll hear plastic engineered fuel. That's what those are. That's what makes ours different.
You mentioned that we've become, or are, a throwaway society.
Absolutely.
In contrast to some of the other nations that have had to deal with this problem because they have smaller land capacity. Mm-hmm. How can we change that? I mean, I know that Debbie and I, my wife and I, used to live in a community where you had mandatory recycling. Mm-hmm. And so everybody did it. I mean, when you put your garbage out once a week, they took your garbage, but you had to have a separate one for your recyclables. Is that where we need to be as a community?
Recycling is tough right now. We've lost that market where we could send our dirty recyclables off to China and Vietnam and those places, and now they don't want it. So I think we as a country didn't keep up with technology of how to actually use the recyclables. It was easy when we could just bail them up and send them off and make money off of it. So I think one of the things that we have to do first and foremost is figure out how not to create the waste, how not to create the recyclables. I'm the first one to jump on Amazon and do some shopping. Mm-hmm. But if you ever look at the packaging waste that comes off of Amazon, it is incredible. Sure. It's ridiculous. So, those are the things that I have a 21-year-old daughter who's all about recycling and climate change.
I wonder where she got that from.
I don't know. She's far more militant about it than I am, but I think that's part of being 21.
Probably. Well, very true. Militant in a good way, though.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But, she challenged us at Christmas not to buy anything from Amazon. Shop local. Try and see what you can buy that doesn't come in the packaging. And so we accomplished that this Christmas.
Now, when you talk about the Amazon packaging, are you talking about what they mail it in? Or are you talking about
everything? The cardboard, the plastic bag that it comes in, and then once it's in there, it's wrapped in this plastic wrap, and then sometimes inside the plastic wrap is that really hard plastic that the paper cut from it just makes you want to scream.
I'm expecting a book from Amazon today, so I'm going to pay particular attention when it arrives.
So when the book comes, notice how big the package is that it comes in, and even that plastic package with the bubble wrap on the inside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just a book. They could have just wrapped it in a
paper bag.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. Remember when we were kids? This is going to age us, date us, I guess. But when you were kids and you took the paper bag from the grocery store to wrap your book in, your school books, and you got to draw all over the cover and that kind of stuff. Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
We were way more environmental in the 60s, I think, than they are now.
In a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways we were, yeah.
Yeah.
Including drinking out of the hose.
That's right. That's right.
Emily Dyson is our guest, Director of Research at Ensorga. What is your full title there, Emily? It's a good one.
Well, I actually work for BioHigh-Tech. Mm-hmm. So my title with BioHigh-Tech is Director of Science, Research, and Development. And so I touch all of the technologies that BioHigh-Tech works on in one form or another. For the Ensorga project, I actually was I've been on the Ensorga project for 7 years since the Italians decided that they found a spot of ground that they wanted to use.
And it was Martinsburg, West Virginia.
And it's Martinsburg, West Virginia.
How about
and
that?
again, I managed to work Italy into a guest, Dave.
Well,
it's a talent that I have.
Yeah,
right.
Lots of good things in Italy.
So, do you have a market for 100% of the energy you manufacture right now, or does this project need to expand some?
No. The areas where I need to expand is I need to find more customers that want to bring me what we call our commercial and industrial waste. Feedstock.
So you need more garbage, is what you're saying?
Nope, I need special garbage. I need plastics, cardboard, carpet scraps. Mm-hmm. For example, we have one customer, Hub Labels out of Hagerstown, that we get all their label residual. That's good stuff. I have plastics. I would love to get more of the rigid plastics. That 4 through 7s are the numbers. Mm-hmm. 1s and 2s are recyclable still, and there is a market for that.
What, 1s and 2s, the plastic bottle you might have your water in?
Yes, exactly. Or maybe it's the container that your yogurt comes in.
Gotcha. What are 4 through 7s?
3 is PVC. That's what I don't want.
Okay.
And then 4 through 7 is everything else. So I'll take the everything else that the recycling market can't take anymore.
Plastic toy, does that count in the 4 through 7?
Plastic toy would work. I wouldn't bring that in through our commercial industrial area because that's specifically, compactors and roll-offs from industry that is, just plastics, just cardboard. We take MRF residuals, so recycling facilities, when they have the leftovers that they can't do anything with, we take them and turn them into fuel.
Do individuals bring you that sort of thing too?
Not yet. We will be having a free day once a month because it's required under our Public Service Commission Certificate of Need. We'll also be open to the public, but we're a startup of a new technology in the country, and we do have bugs to work out. So we're working through a lot of those. Anytime you have something new, it's hard. We just had a big company meeting yesterday, and Frank Selly, who's the CEO of the company, said, if you come to work every day thinking that it's going to be easy, it's never going to happen for you. You don't belong in this industry. We are changing the world. We are changing the way people think about waste. And to do that, it's hard. So right now, we're in that hard part. We're starting up. We're working through things, but it's going very well. I've made spec fuel. I know that I make a fuel out of municipal solid waste and commercial and industrial waste. So we'll get to the point where we are open to the public, but we got to work through this phase first. Mm-hmm. And so we've been up and running for 8 months. I'm guessing it's going to take probably another 2 months for us to really iron out, some of the kinks.
Let's talk about the contribution of the company to the local community as it relates to affecting the economy, jobs, and so forth.
Okay.
How many people are employed, and how many more do you envision coming aboard?
We have a full staff. I don't think that we'll ever grow bigger than we are. So we have about 20 people on staff. We run 2 shifts. We run everything from, guys that come in, the laborers that come in and do the sweep up and the cleaning. We make fuel, so it's critical that we have a very clean environment because you don't want to...
From the pictures, it looks like it's super clean that I've seen.
And it should be. And as long as I get to play there, it will be. When you spend 7 years of your career and you're sort of at the pinnacle of your career, this is going to be one of the things that I want to always be able to look back on and know that it's being run clean. From Grapevine Road, I don't want anybody to ever notice that we bring in municipal solid waste. We are a manufacturing facility, and we need to look like it.
Why Berkeley County, West Virginia, and not God only knows there's 5,000 other counties in America. How did we get picked for this great cause?
Well, it started because in Sorga Italia, the European side of things, in Sorga Italia already had a relationship with, at the time, it was S-Rock Italcementi.
Okay.
So there was already a relationship where they were providing fuel to S-Rock Italcementi.
Okay.
So this was formerly an S-Rock plant. So that's when the conversation started. Berkeley County was identified. I think first and foremost, probably the reason why we're even where we are today, but why it started here was that the Berkeley County Solid Waste Authority had gone through the steps of having an assessment done on that property to see what they could use it for. And, I can't say enough positive, good things about Berkeley County Solid Waste Authority and Clint Hogbin in particular. I've worked all over I've worked in every state in the United States, and I've worked with a lot of different municipalities, and I have never had the privilege of working with a board that has been so forward-thinking and passionate about doing something good with the plot of land that they had. So from that perspective,
that's an awesome compliment.
Yeah, no, but I'm not blowing sunshine. I'm being honest. I've really that has been a pleasure to work with Berkeley County Solid Waste.
And so
Authority.
when you were all putting this together too, you probably got involved with some of the elected officials in the county as well.
We have.
Right?
I've gotten to know the local politics more than I know my own politics in Maryland.
I bet you have.
But for building the first of. For building it in an area of the country where the talk has always been West Virginia is the dumping ground for everybody. They don't get the new technologies, that type of thing. I think it's the perfect location. We're right outside of Washington.
It really does make a statement.
It absolutely makes a statement. This is probably going to be the only plant that has what I consider to be the perfect story. So you have a plant that's in West Virginia that in the community that generates the waste, we create a fuel out of it that burns in the largest emitter of pollution, probably in all of the Eastern Panhandle, to make the air cleaner in the same community that generated the feedstock. We're not going to have a lot of opportunities to say that.
Yeah, that is a perfect story.
It is. And how awesome is it that the people that live here are making their own air cleaner, And
Well stated.
And just through putting their trash out at the curb.
Emily, it's great to meet you. Thanks so much for coming in.
And I appreciate your invite, and have me back anytime.
Absolutely, great stuff. By the way, during the interview, the school systems in Jefferson and Berkeley County had announced that they will dismiss 2.5 hours early today. So whichever level of school your student is in, they will be getting home 2.5 hours early today. So you were right on.
So I already did that. They're just copying me.
They really are. You kind of set the tone here.
They listened.
They heard you.
Yeah, they must have heard me.
It's the power of the voice. Well done, sir.
Not a problem.
Emily Dyson, great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 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 Thank you. Thank you very much.